is one of the most powerful drug lords in the world, running a massive Mexican cartel.
And he may end up going to trial here in New York. Fox 5's Allison Marcy here with a look at the big business behind El Chapo.
Yeah, this stuff is totally fascinating, guys. I mean, we know he's a major, drug leader. We all know that. But we also know he's used violence and bribery to get to the top. But one of the most interesting things is, how does he actually move money and drugs into the U.S.? Jeffrey Robinson is the premier expert on financial crimes, and he explained to me how it all goes down and how El Chapo might go down if he's brought here to New York.
El Chapo was one of the major players in what may very well be one of the world's largest businesses.
With the possibility that the drug lord may be extradited to Brooklyn, we sat down with one of the world's leading experts on international money laundering, Jeffrey Robinson. Author of The Laundrymen, The Merger, The Sink, and The Takedown, Robinson doesn't talk to the media often, but he talked to us about dirty money and El Chapo's big business here in the United States.
You are talking hundreds of millions of dollars taken off the streets. Hundreds of millions of dollars that this man has been responsible for.
So how does El Chapo get all that dirty money in and out of America?
One of the things they've been doing is using value-added cards. And along that U.S.-Mexican border, from California all the way through Texas, you've got a huge percentage of the world's gun stores. I mean, it's all over the place. And what you do is you use the cash cards to buy weapons and then just take the weapons across, or just take the cash cards across to pay your foot soldiers and everybody else.
El Chapo's drug empire is just one part of the enormous illegal drug industry around the world.
The United Nations had decided that illicit drugs was the world's largest cash crop, and this was staggering, more money was spent globally on drugs than on food. That's how big this business is.
Over the last few days, El Chapo has said he'll come to the U.S., but only if he's put in a medium security prison. Not a likely scenario given his history of breaking out of jail. If he is extradited, though, he'll be flown straight to New York.
They're all set up for him at the Eastern District, U.S. Attorney's Office, Eastern District, which is Brooklyn. So he's going to be brought into Kennedy or LaGuardia to tried there. What will happen is he will be immediately charged and held without bail in the MDC, which is the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn.
And that's where he'll sit until trial. But Robinson thinks it's more likely that El Chapo will try to use his money and his influence in Mexico.
The last thing any of these clowns want is to be extradited to the United States, where they can't bribe the judges, where they can't threaten the judges, where they can't bribe law enforcement, where they can't escape from prison.
Now, Robinson thinks El Chapo has no incentive to come here, and so he expects he will do everything he possibly can to stay put. But he said, do not rule out the possibility that Mexico will just get so sick of dealing with him that they'll send him up to us anyway. It is amazing to me, though, guys, that you actually have to agree to extradition. You would think at this point that's just like, off you go.
He shouldn't have a choice.
Yeah.
And to say I'd like a medium security prison, who's going to go for that with this guy?
Let's hope he doesn't disappear from this prison in the meantime.
Exactly.
All right, thank you, Allison.
Thank you.